I'm Mehdi Hasan. I'm a journalist. I'm the editor of Zeteo. And today I'm surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives. My first claim is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal.
Before we begin this debate series, I want everybody to understand something. This is a debate channel. It goes under the name of Jubilee. There's always some extreme debate situation where there's like one Christian versus 20 atheists, or one Republican versus 20 Democrats, all these different circumstances where people have to debate their way against all these people. This one is called one progressive versus 20 far right conservatives. And just for the record, I know a lot of people may not be aware, but a far right conservative is basically a racist person. It's a person that's extreme. It's a person that don't believe in equality, a person that, is over the top. And these are young people. If you look at the ages of these people, they're like they're still in college. And the extreme views that they have in this group I think is amazing. Progressive, obviously, with this guy here, Hasan. Progressive just simply means that you are for equality, you're for, fairness and stuff like that. You're a pretty fair-minded person. You're not trying to hurt nobody, right? So it's an interesting conversation. I saw most of it. I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. I did not see all of it, but I want to point out a few key highlights and talk about how these interactions went, because I just find it amazing. Let's begin.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Mehdi.
What is it?
Mehdi.
You're from northern UK, I guess?
I'm from London, North London.
Okay, fair enough. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind asking?
My parents are from India.
Okay, perfect. Just getting premise here. First of all, I want to say
the premise of Donald Trump being pro-crime.
No. I want to concern myself with why you care about what's happening in the U.S., first and foremost. Secondly, I want to say this.
Should people who live in the U.S. not care about?
Let's not interrupt each other. Because I have this thing, people know I have this thing. I have to stay calm, okay? Here's the thing. I am happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't.
Okay.
So when you say, are you okay that he's pro-crime? Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is, first and foremost.
You don't think stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
really?
arguing. No, it's not, because you know what? Okay, have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I've
BLM protests.
Have you
seen? Okay, myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
So
being done to conservatives. It's not about that. It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the U.K. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so
I'm an American citizen.
You have your own states.
I'm an American,
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here. Okay.
But you're
a little different.
But you're a descendant of immigrants, settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah, colonials.
You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent.
Do you guys see the delusion that this guy shares? This guy is in his head. There's no way possible people can be walking around with a brain with nothing in it like this. I find it very amazing to sit there boldly and say that whites are Native Americans, but his family came here in the 1500s, 1600s, like as if America wasn't here before that. No acknowledgement of the Indians or the Native Americans, which is another story, because I'm of the strong belief that blacks were here before they got here anyway. But that's another topic. But if you listen to this man talking, the way he gets aggressive and he's talking like as if he got the right to be here and he American, and this is how these people think, man. So just pay attention.
What was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen. Before
indigenous
America,
people come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It means they came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay. Just checking.
My point is, Okay,
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are
you're
criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
You literally sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
By that, but I'm
offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime.
I'm always curious.
We're going to talk about immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing
this. Is this how you get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That must make you feel good.
You know what? I'm actually 20 people.
I can't believe that he actually tried to beat his chest because he got a round of applause. You in a room full of other far-right conservatives. Of course you're going to get around. Everybody agrees with you because y'all all of the same evil racist thinking. So of course they're going to be with you when you say some ignorant shit. But he sounds stupid, sounds like a fool, sounds like he's misled, misunderstood, and has no fucking idea what this country is founded on and who are the indigenous and native people, Native Americans. It just don't. I'm trying to understand how people get to this point where they walk around and say this type of shit out of their mouth. Blows my mind.
Agree with you. Applauded you.
Outraged right now. This is great.
I love it.
Do I have to say anything at this point, or are you just going to keep going?
Please. Make your claim.
My claim is that I don't care if it's pro-crime. You want to go back to the topic of conversation?
That's fine. We agree then. So, he's pro-crime.
But I have a question for you, though. Do you care on the opposite side of the spectrum?
Yes.
Do you care about law being administered to the opposite side of the spectrum?
I think anyone who assaults a police officer shouldn't be pardoned. I think that Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned 9 Republican members of Congress who were convicted of crimes. And I don't think Joe Biden should commit. I don't think Democrats should pardon Democrats.
Fair, but I don't think you understand where we are in the U.S. Then.
I think I do.
No, because you're arguing from a position of like a U.S. that doesn't exist anymore. Okay. We're headed towards.
The dude said, "I don't think you understand where we are in the U.S." What in the hell is he talking about? Dude, crime is crime. The law is the law. Period. The man said, "I don't think nobody should be pardoned that committed a crime." What do you mean? I don't think you understand where we are in the U.S. That doesn't negate, that doesn't make it okay to commit a crime. That doesn't make it, he's delusional, craziness.
Nihilism, no laws, nothing matters.
It's not about
everyone's pro-crime.
It's not about that. It's that conservatives for too long have been playing it safe. They've been playing by the law. They've been playing by the law. Yes, they have.
Maybe you missed the Bush presidency. Did you live here during the Bush years?
Conservatives are
didn't play by the law, George W. Bush, nor did Ronald Reagan.
Let's be respectful to you. Let me finish.
I'm not sure you've been that respectful, but okay.
I'm trying to bring it back, so let's both bring it back. Okay. I'm conservative. Okay.
Really?
Let me tell you this. We do play it too safe. We've been playing it by the book for too long. Okay. At this point, gloves are off, right? The left has made their point. They're willing to do.
The police force in Washington, the left.
Yes. Are you kidding me? The left? Are you insane?
Police officers.
Look at LA right here. Okay. You think those stand down? You think
the LAPD are a bunch of liberal Marxists?
No, but I think they listen to liberal Marxists who tell them what to do.
Okay.
I think they listen to who signs their paychecks at the end of the day.
Can I just check, because you're doing lots of little diversions. We both agree Donald Trump's pro-crime. You're just fine with it.
No,
is that the position? I don't. That's what you've said so far for about 5 minutes.
I don't agree with your definition.
What's your definition of crime?
It doesn't
Stomping
matter.
on a police officer's head is not a crime. That's your definition of crime as the Native American.
I am Native American.
If you say so.
So going back to the topic at hand, we have different definitions of crime because you're talking about.
There's a criminal code in this country. It's called the U.S. Criminal Code.
You know what? Let's focus on what we agree on. I'm sure you and I actually agree on a lot more.
Do we agree that people shouldn't stomp on police officers' heads? Can we agree on that? If you don't agree on that, then I really think this conversation is kind of pointless.
Because first of all, you're saying what? That the police have the authority, that they're given the authority. I don't accept the authority that's been given by liberal
position. I'm a conservative or pro-police.
Then you don't know what a real. Hey, listen, you're in a room with juggernauts right now.
So he don't accept the authority is given by liberal people. See, that's the issue. They want to they want to claim that they're American. They want to talk all this stuff about how it's their country, but yet you want to go against the Constitution and the laws that this country is built on. You don't want to obey the law of the country, but yet you want to still wrap that flag around your ass and talk as if you're more American than anybody else. You can't have it both ways, bro. You can't be anti-America and not obey the laws and defy all of the leadership positions at the same time and then claim that you are patriotic and you are of this country. You can't do it. This don't make sense.
I'm telling you right now, you are going to be blown open if you think that my
if we're going to
position
struggle
is
with the
right,
English
you
language
have
for the
no
next couple of
idea
hours, then
what
we'll
you're up
struggle.
against right now. Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Newsflash: the conservatives are liberal to me. Okay. Neocons, libertarians, all those mainstream people, there might as well be leftists to me. Okay, that's how far to the right I am. Do you understand my position?
So when you kind of guessed it when you sat down.
say, about obeying police, why would I give the authority to police? Do you know here in America?
Do you think Donald Trump should be pardoning 9 members of Congress who committed financial crimes? Are you pro financial crime? Do you pro financial crime?
Do you know
All right,
Thomas
pause.
Timbo is?
Pause.
I think the people who clapped you have voted you out.
All right. Head back to your seat. You've been voted out by the majority.
My next claim is that Donald Trump is defying the Constitution. Nice to meet
pleasure
you.
to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us.
Yes.
And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go first.
See, this is how people become to be far right. This is how they become to be radical. This is how they become to be extreme. When you have people that openly defy the laws and talk as if the laws aren't done properly and they need to be redefined and that they don't care about what they say. And you want to make it to where everybody, people don't have the right to their own religion. You want to make it to whereas people don't have the right to defend themselves in regards to whatever situation. I just don't understand how these young people get to this extreme point. What kind of information are they consuming? What school are they going to? Who are their professors? Where are they congregating? I mean, I think it's amazing that these young white people, a lot of them, as you can see, somehow they come to a place to where you can see how these mass shootings are taking place. You can see how these extreme events are taking place. A crime and people are going, these constantly, victims are being killed just out of hatred. This is how it builds up. The mindset of somebody who will go out and shoot up a crowd looks like these people on this debate right here. You're looking at the mass shooters. This is what they look like. Dylan Roof probably will go right in this room and have a conversation that sounds exactly like these guys.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay. Surprise. I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
whenever
the
it's in your
Second
favor.
Amendment. Yeah, absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
So you don't
it's the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree.
So
And that's
you
part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I can't even remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local leaders,
who is the we, by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far right conservatives sitting right around
white
me.
people.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
So,
well,
some
actually,
of you guys,
I have quite
some of the people in this room don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white, and should stay that way.
How does the United States, I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United
Check out the guy in the back with the hat on right there with the pink shirt. He is all in with this conversation. You can tell his views are so extreme. He's one of the guys that literally would do a mass shooting. I mean, he is just so in line with rebelling against the country and everything that it stands for. You know, I just find it amazing that these people are so extreme and have these ideologies that are so far right and so extreme that they can, to me, they're dangerous, and they all need to be on a CIA watch list. They need to be looked at by the government. I guarantee you, everybody in that room or everybody that identifies with that type of mindset needs to be checked out thoroughly for bombs. I don't trust them at all, not one bit, talking like that.
States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well, I use a pseudonym online.
Fair enough.
But fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings were
isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that state.
And then no more votes afterwards.
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know? Autocrats tend to kill everyone, even their own supporters.
Makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution.
We may have to rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get.
He's a fascist. He's a racist, an open racist, a person that doesn't believe in equality and everybody should be able to be in the same country and live together. That's amazing. And the people that are clapping around him. And I saw when he asked him the question about Jews, there are Jews in that room. And they looked around like as if they wanted to almost be offended, but they're in the same boat with some crazy bastard that believes the same thing as them. So they're going to sit there and grin and ignore it. These people are crazy, man.
My set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats. They were aristocrats.
Are you in favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not.
You mentioned Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic.
He only killed combatants. Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah, he only killed combatants.
Never killed any innocent people.
The White Terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill people.
You just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a Nazi
is mutual,
and being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't in a state that I was running. I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you just seem
offended. What you're doing here,
you just seem offended, to be quite frankly. Like
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really care about being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a Nazi is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi.
I care
you
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi,
thing.
a fascist, and a General Franco supporter.
Well, yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
and you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in democracy.
What are you doing here at a televised debate?
Because,
this is democracy. Don't put a debate and disagreement.
Because it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech after we win. Again, I've mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned
the whole
reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction. Even liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies and they want to enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power, and I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple.
I'm not sure what is.
You can see that the guy Hasan, he is visibly done. He's done. He wants no parts of talking to this dude much further than the information that he's already discussed with him. The fact that he's a fascist, he's openly, standing on things that he stands on, and I get it. I mean, personally, I wouldn't talk to him either, because a person with this type of extreme mindset, there's only so much you can say to somebody. Some people, you just have to understand that we cannot be in the same room. We cannot be in the same area. It's best for you to go over there and me to stay over here. Because if we come together, it's going to probably be World War III. And he's one of them people that, the way that he thinks, it will make somebody want to cause harm to him. And, I'm not saying that they should. I'm just saying that the type of disagreements that can come about can make a lot of, can cause a lot of problems.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seats.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I can't say the same, but thank you. Hey, how's it going? I'm Medhi.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk about all those things. I need to know what you mean.
All of them. I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for culture.
Lower wages are good
they're
for
good
the
for
economy?
society. Where's the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where's the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's the basis for saying there are lower wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry. It's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the Economic Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla, companies from like Silicon Valley, they engaged in mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas. And it's kind of just standard economic thinking.
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time from immigrants. In fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages and raised innovation.
Who's that by?
National Bureau for Economic Research.
No, hold on. That's where you publish studies. I'm asking
yes, I didn't memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you didn't, right?
Can you give me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did he.
The vast majority of studies.
Let me speak.
Please.
Yeah, thank you, right? So listen, he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the spatial approach, which is what all these economists use, you're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach where you look at the specific firms that immigration is going into, like Kim ETAL 2013 did, you find a net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration. You find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all your studies are flawed.
So 0.5%, weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for, massive increase in tax revenue, immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately into the undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you has proudly said that. One of us proudly, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages? wages? Because,
Yeah, I actually do,
For example,
right?
do you support raising the minimum wage?
Absolutely, and you
Great.
can't do that when you're bringing all these
Great.
people
So
coming into
that's
a
not
country.
the reason the
Yes,
Republican
it
Party
is.
blocks the minimum wage. You think Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage because they're worried about immigration?
Did I
We have
say I
not
voted
had an
Republican?
increase.
Did I say I
We've
voted
not-
Republican?
Well, I'm on a show that was called 25 far-right Republicans.
That
I'm
doesn't mean I'm
assuming
going to
you are.
support every single Republican
Good. So
candidate.
you
right?
and I, good. So you and I,
Yeah,
you and I,
don't
let's
support-
agree.
I don't
We
support-
both support raising the minimum wage. Yes,
100%.
$7.25 since 2009. It's lost 30% of its value.
100%.
If you care about wages, we should be raising the minimum wage in this country, not scapegoating migrants who aren't the cause of
Can I
low wages in
respond?
the country. You know who's causing low wages? Billionaires, millionaires,
Yeah, and
people who won't pay fair wages to their wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a
I
native
get the
born American.
monologue right now. Let me respond.
You had
right?
one. You had one
No,
with
yeah,
your
but-
one study that had a 0.5% impact. Go.
Yeah, and your study like sucked that you didn't even know who wrote it, right? So like, let's get back to the point,
Because,
right?
because I don't need
And
to
there
know
it
one
goes
study.
again. Yeah,
The
let's hear it.
majority of studies say that wages are not impacted
The
by
majority of your
migration over
studies
time.
are flawed. That's what I'm
They're not
telling
my
you.
studies.
Right.
Neither of us are economists. It's the economist studies.
Don't assume who I am.
Are you an economist?
I could be.
But
right?
are you?
I could be.
Are you?
I'm not going to tell you.
Are you?
I'm
Are
going to
you?
major in economics,
Are
right?
you an economist?
No, not right now.
Okay, so when I said neither is economist, I was correct.
Just don't assume.
To use your
things.
favorite word.
See here, dude. This is nothing of substance. You look at the red flags; they're coming up. Let me get
That's
to the point.
great, but
so
you're
when you
not an
talk about
economist.
when you talk about the CBO, one thing you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier that unemployment
Do I
was
know
like
what it means? I thought we're not doing assumptions.
okay, hold on. You mentioned we were like at like 4.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting
That's how
poverty
it's always
wages.
been counted.
Yeah,
I'm against poverty wages.
You
Can we
won't let
agree
me
again?
Yes. If you go to like the Lookwood Institute, they calculated a way where it's like functional unemployment. Okay. If you account for things like just people who make around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part-time, if you count all of those people together and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs, we don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay. We don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in,
And
they're
the good
taking those jobs.
The good job shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can
who
say
hires
that.
the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So
But
when
that's
you,
not
when
the
you bring up
cause-
these big firms,
Okay, so
that's the
let me
way
ask
they
you.
keep
Let me
wages
ask you
down.
a question.
You understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms would suddenly raise all the wages?
You notice
That's
that
what
you
you
didn't
believe.
answer what I said. You
That's
notice
what
how
you
it was
believe.
a complete. Your ankles
That's what
all
you
right?
believe.
You pivoted the hell
That's what
away
you
from the
believe.
conversation.
Is that what you? I'm
Are
on
your
the
ankles
subject.
okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage
They will
if
be
we
forced
stop
to.
immigration?
They will be forced to.
It's great
When you
biggest
increase
naivety.
labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're
This
tightening
is
the
a very
supply of
simplistic
labor.
understanding of economics because you're
Okay,
not,
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong.
Here.
Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through
About
their presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also.
Let me say this real quick because I think that there's a little bit of a right in what both of them are saying. Obviously, immigrants spend money, they pay taxes because they buy things which go towards taxes. They pay taxes now, whether they pay at the end of the year or not, I don't know, depending on if they're legal or not, right? But we know that immigrants, they buy things to survive. They stimulate the economy because they spend money in the economy, whether it be groceries, whether it be whatever stores they go to, those stores pay taxes. So they're able to still generate the economy in some type of way. Now, in other ways, there are ways that it could be a negative, especially if they are illegal, because now you're talking about the draining of some of the resources. So you're talking about the draining of some of the job market and making it in some areas, not in all, but in some. And all you need to prove is that in some areas they're affected, where immigrants are taking up jobs that would have probably been gotten or for somebody that was legal, somebody that's American. So when you have a situation where you have immigrants that are willing to do work less, get paid less, work longer hours, it's going to seem like it's much more beneficial to the employer to hire an immigrant, right? Especially an illegal immigrant where you can pay them under the table. There is no doubt, no debate about that. It's common sense. So the pros and the cons are true. What this guy is debating, saying that they can make things more difficult and drain some of the economy and drain some of the resources in a way, that's a real thing as well. Now, how much of it all depends on who's reviewing the numbers a lot of times. But I do think what the other guy Hasan is saying as well has some points, has some credence to that as well, because immigrants can also make an impact. As I said, can help. They are willing to do jobs that blacks and other people are not willing to do. And if they weren't there to do it, to be quite honest, some of the markets are going to suffer. Stuff like farming and stuff like things like, the hard laborers of the construction sites and the roofers and stuff like that. There are things that a lot of Americans have gotten so comfortable that they just will not do. They will not do. Like a lot of people, even the ones that need it the most, just will not do certain jobs, especially for a certain type of pay, And it's sad because if those jobs are not filled by somebody, we could have a shortage of the people willing to do the work, which is going to ultimately slow down the progress of people getting work done. And then we're going to have a bigger problem in our hands. So I understand what both guys are saying, and they both make a point to some degree.
Because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create jobs. I came into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like. I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit
Why?
about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left-wing
I never
politics.
said Americans are lazy.
I don't know why you say this.
I never said Americans are
yes,
lazy.
you are.
The only person
You're saying
attacking
immigrants
people
have to
is
come
you.
into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do.
I
That's
never
exactly
said
what
those
you
words.
said.
When did I say it?
Really?
When did I say it? It's on
why don't we-
YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words that came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants? Why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause. You've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
You're going to have to go.
Nice talking.
So he never said what the guy accused him of saying. I didn't hear him say that Americans are lazy. I didn't hear him say that immigrants are willing to do the jobs that Americans won't do. I said that in my commentary, but he did not say that. Now, I thought it was very bold for him to look this man in the face and say, get out. It is just amazing at the radicalness and the extremist mindsets and the amount of emotion that these guys show. They are just so upset and so mad at the world. And he didn't care if he was a legal immigrant, right? Did he ask? Was he told a legal immigrant to get out just because he was an immigrant, which is amazing because there are people on that panel that are also immigrants born in the United States that probably their parents came from another country and they're legal. They have every right to be in this country like anybody else. And they shouldn't be treated like as if they're doing something wrong. An illegal immigrant is one thing, but to go after people who are legal and doing things the right way and have been here their whole life is just not cool. And I think that this is what you get when you're dealing with a situation like these people and how radical they are, the mindset that how they think, it's a problem. But, if you guys want to catch the rest of this video, you can go to Jubilee on our YouTube, the YouTube channel Jubilee. It's called One Progressive versus 20 Far Right Conservatives. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.